filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Diffuse, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living in different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walk the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back for another episode. Quick, it's gonna be real quick. I only got 8 teams to preview for the weekend. Would have been 9, but I took Georgia Tech and Notre Dame off the slate because of the injury to Haynes King. So we're just gonna stick with 8. And then if you're looking for Texas, Georgia, me and Joe did a standalone episode Friday night. Go back and watch that. I'm not gonna talk about it on this joint. We spent 25 minutes talking about the game on CTC last night, so check that out there. But before I get started, I ask that you like, comment, share, subscribe. It helps the channel, helps the network. Host my channel, CTC, by way of the Refuse to Lose Network. I'm going to go over the shows we got on the network. We got the main show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 o'clock Eastern time. We have Unfazed featuring Joe and AJ every Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. We have BWT, Baseball with Teddy. Yankees up 3-1 in the ALCS. All baseball content through there. We have Dave's Doghouse, highlights and lowlights of sports. Check that out. Might see your favorite player. We got FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. All your fantasy football needs, starts, sits, all that through there. Real Ballers Only, RBO featuring Vaughn, NBA content, doing his NBA previews. We have In the Red Corner featuring Ty, Ricky, Tomo, boxing. So all your boxing stuff through there. We have, I said it all? Kings Talk with Joe Jordan. All Sacramento Kings content through there. He just did an episode about the Kings yesterday. Season starts for the Kings, I believe, on Thursday, but the season starts in the NBA Tuesday. So check that out. And I believe that's all the shows we got for y'all. So please check us out, like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you like what you're listening to, stick with us. So first game I got for y'all on the docket, we got Miami Hurricanes, 4.5-point favorites at Louisville, 12 o'clock on ABC. Now, if you're new here, do 5 keys for each team to win the game, and then I pick a winner and give a brief explanation why. We're going to start with Miami. I always start with the road team. 6th ranked Miami, undefeated. The defense has to play better, though. The defense has to play better. Back-to-back weeks, they've given up 30-plus points. Can't allow that to happen. They were down 25 against Cal, and it was able to storm back. You can't keep playing with fire like that, so they can't do that again this week. Now, the pressure Tyler Shuck, pressure him, make him throw a pick, make him bad read, incomplete passes, put pressure on him. Cam Ward got to take care of the football. He has 4 interceptions in the last 3 games, so that's not good when you have more picks than games played. So you got to take care of that ball. Contain Isaac Brown, which I saw a stat he was the leading rusher for freshmen in the country, so shout out to him. But you got to contain Isaac Brown. Can't let him pop a big one. And you got to run Damian Martinez. I still believe that you got to give the opposite team a consistent diet of Damian Martinez. Now, if you're Louisville, Tyler Shuck can't have that untimely interception, man. Had it against Virginia last week, almost cost him the game, but the defense was able to get the ball back, and Tyler Shuck was able to lead a drive. That would be the game-winning drive, but can't play with that fire either. Got to put some pressure on Cam Ward. Like I said, he has 4 picks in the last 3 games, force him to throw some interceptions. You got to contain his legs, though. So while you're putting pressure on him, still got to contain your rushing lanes, contain the outside. Don't let him get through. But you got to put pressure on him. You got to win a turnover battle. Again, quarterbacks have been throwing picks on both sides, so you got to win the turnover battle. And you got to get the ball to Ja'Cory Brooks and Colin Lacey, your 2 guys on the outside. But my winner is going to be Miami. Miami, to me, is just a better team. Miami is looking like to be one of the best teams in the ACC. Really good offense. Defense, like I said, has been these last 2 weeks dropping the ball. But when it's time to step up, the defense does step up. And I think that's going to happen here. I think Louisville probably gets it going a little early, but Miami is there to match. Defense gets going for Miami late in the game. Louisville offense stagnates. Miami wins the ball game. So I'm going with Miami to beat Louisville on the road to remain undefeated. Next, we have Nebraska at Indiana. Cincinnati is undefeated. Nebraska's coming to this game 5-1, 6-0 versus 5-1. Should be a good one. Indiana 6.5-point favorites at home. You can catch this game 12 o'clock on Fox. If you're Nebraska, you got to stop the run. You got to stop Justice Ellison. You got to stop Tyson Lawton. You got to stop the run of Indiana. You got to pressure Curtis Rourke, the quarterback for Indiana. I believe he only has 2 picks on the year. Got to put some pressure on him. Got to score touchdowns. Nebraska lately has had trouble scoring touchdowns. The win against Rutgers, they only put up 2 touchdowns. The one loss against Illinois in overtime is because they will have good drives, but they will stall out. They got to put up touchdowns against this Indiana team who's been scoring at a high rate, very high rate. Get the ball to Isaiah Nair. I still think that he's one of the better receivers on the team. I like Jamal Banks, but I think Isaiah Nair needs to get the ball a little bit more. And you got to establish the run. You got to establish your run game, your stable of backs. You got to establish them. Now, if you're Indiana, you got to stop the run as well. Nebraska's going to be predicated on the run and play action. Got to stop the run so that way you can pin your ears back and put pressure on Dylan Raiola, which is point number 2. Got to force some turnovers out the young freshman. He's been playing well as a full freshman, just period. He's been playing well, but time to force some turnovers. He does have 3 interceptions on the year, so you got to force them. Got to run Justice Ellison. Got to run Tyson Lawton, establish your own run game. And you got to get the ball to Omar Cooper and Elijah Surratt, your big play receivers on the outside. And my winner, I think they're undefeated against the spread this year. We're going Indiana. Indiana, you heard what Coach Signetti said. Coach Signetti, shout out Coach Signetti. He said, just Google me, man. I win. And he's 6-0 at Indiana. He already has a bowl game in the first 6 weeks at Indiana. This team has been playing on fire. It's tough to stop this offense. The defense, they'll do their job. It's just hard for me to pick against this Indiana team the way they've been playing lately, especially coming off a bye. It's just tough for me to pick against them. So I'm rolling with Signetti. Next, we have Arizona State at Cincinnati, and you might be thinking, Carl, you just told me you're not doing Georgia Tech because Haynes King is hurt. Why are you doing Arizona State? Sam Levitt's hurt. Jeff Sims is an experienced guy. This is possibly his last year of college football. On the other hand, Zach Pyron, he's not really experienced. I think he's a sophomore, but he didn't play last year. He was like a gadget guy. He was like a gadget guy this year. He'll come in for certain plays. So I'd rather talk about Jeff Sims because I know what he is instead of Zach Pyron. Don't really know what Zach is yet. But yeah, Arizona State, Cincinnati, 12 o'clock on ESPN Plus. Arizona State, Jeff Sims can't turn the ball over. Y'all know Jeff Sims is a turnover machine. He got to cut back on that this week. Got to be accurate. He got some guys on the outside. You got to be accurate to hit them. You can't give Cincinnati these extra possessions by missing throws and stuff like that. And you still got to run Jeff Sims. Jeff Sims is an exceptional athlete, speedy guy, quarterback. You got to run him. You got to have that threat there. You know you got to establish Cam Scatterbo. You got to establish him, let him impose his will on the defense, break down that defense, and fourth quarter rushing lanes might be through the roof. Then you got to get the ball to Jordan Tyson, Xavier Guillory, your 2 guys on the outside that I was alluding to earlier. You got to get them the ball open space, especially Jordan Tyson. He's so explosive. Now, if you're Cincinnati, you got to contain Jeff Sims' legs. Got to contain his legs. Don't let him get on the outside. Don't let him run in open space. He'll kill you in the run game. Pressure Jeff Sims, cause turnovers because, like I say, he's a turnover machine. Run Corey Kiner, your running back, him and Evan Pryor. Get the ball to Xavier Henderson, your guy. That's your guy on the outside. And you got to make Jeff Sims beat you with his arm. You got to make him beat you with his arm. You got to force him third and longs. You got to put him in passing situations. Can't allow Arizona State to rely on Cam Scatterbo or Jeff Sims running the ball. But with that being said, I'm picking Cincinnati. It's all because of, like I said, man, Jeff Sims, he's a turnover machine. He was a turnover machine at Georgia Tech. He's a turnover machine at Nebraska. I think he's going to have a couple turnovers in this ball game. That's going to give Cincinnati great field position for them to punch it in. Arizona State's offense might be a little off schedule because of it. And so I'm rolling with Cincinnati to beat Arizona State. Next, We have Alabama coming into Knoxville as 3.5-point favorites against Tennessee. 3:30 on ABC. Now, if you're Alabama, you got to run Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe has had 2 rushing touchdowns in every game except for one. The one loss against Vanderbilt. Other than that, he's had 2 rushing touchdowns in every game. Forced Tennessee to push the ball down the field. I kind of talked about it on the main show yesterday about how Tennessee, they've been struggling to hit deep plays. You got to stop Dylan Sampson. Stop the run. Stop Dylan Sampson, who's been there consistent to me, who's their heart and soul of the offense. You got to stop him. Don't let Nico Amaliva use his legs. And you got to get the ball to Ryan Williams, the phenomenal freshman, man. You got to get him the ball. Get him his touches. Big things, explosive things happen when he touches the ball. Now, if you're Tennessee, you need big momentum plays early. You're at home. You want to get the home crowd involved. You got to hit big momentum plays. You got to get Nico Amaliva some easy throws, though, in order for that to happen. Get him in rhythm. Get him some easy throws. Let him get into the game of this magnitude against Bama. Contain Jan Miller and Justice Haynes, the 2 running backs for Alabama. You got to establish Dylan Sampson on the ground. And you got to contain Jalen Milroe legs. But my winner is Alabama. I believe this stat that Alabama is 16-1 against Tennessee in the last 17 games. Only loss was the Herndon Hooker game, which that game was crazy. Also, Tennessee offense has been a struggle bus lately. And I think that's due to the level of competition they have been playing. Now, although Alabama's defense isn't Alabama's defense that you think of, I think it's still a really good defense, but there's a lot of mistakes that happen. This is still Alabama, and it's still going to cause some issues for Tennessee's offense. So I'm going to roll with Alabama to get the W. I think Tennessee struggles continues on offense, and Alabama scores on these boys and win the ball game. Next, we have 24. By the way, that was the top 15 matchup, 7 Bama, 11 Tennessee. Next, we have 24th ranked Michigan at 22nd ranked Illinois. You catch this game 3:30 on CBS. Michigan is road favorites by 3.5 points coming into this game. If you're Michigan, obviously you need to run the football. Obviously, that's your bread and butter. You got to run the ball. You got to find ways to still get Coastal Leveland involved in the passing game. He's probably going to be key in play action. He's key on third down pickups. He's a security blanket. So you got to find him. Got to get Jack Tuttle some easy throws when you need to throw the ball, though. Let him get in rhythm. This is your 3rd quarterback on the season that you're turning to. So get him some easy throws. Let him get in the rhythm of the game. Put some pressure on Luke Altmaier. Defense, got to put pressure on Luke Altmaier. Force some turnovers, force some bad throws, bad reads. And you got to contain Caden Fegan, the running back. The running back for Illinois, who's having a good year so far this year. Now, if you're Illinois, make it Michigan pass the ball. I keep saying it. Michigan, they're a D1 school. They can't pass the ball. At least so far. Up to this point, they have not been able to pass the ball. Establish Caden Fegan, the running back. It's going to be tough to do against this Michigan defense, but you got to keep going to him. You can't abandon the run early. Get the ball to Pat Bryant and Zachary Franklin. I need Zachary Franklin to have that breakout game, man. I've been waiting. It really hasn't happened. It was on the cusp of happening, but it hasn't happened for real. Defend Colston Leveland. So you got to get your guys on Colston Leveland. He's going, like I say, he's key on third down pickups. He's a security blanket. Got to know where he is. And avoid Will Johnson. That's forever going to be a key when playing Michigan because Will Johnson has 2 pick sixes on the year, and he's looking for more. But my winner is Michigan. I think Michigan is going to win because Illinois has showed me that they're susceptible against the run. And what does Michigan like to do? They like to run the ball. They like to run the ball down your throat with Khalil Mullins and Donovan Edwards. It's going to be tough for that Illinois defense to stop the run, especially that power run game that Michigan has. So I'm rolling with Michigan. I think they're going to have a lot of success on the ground. It's going to be tough for Illinois to stop it, and they'll suffocate Illinois' offense on defense. And I think Michigan walks away with the W. Next, we got Colorado at Arizona State. Not Arizona State, at Arizona, excuse me. Arizona is 2.5-point favorites at home. This game is 4 o'clock on Fox. Mind you, these odds are via FanDuel from like 4 in the morning. So if things have changed, like I said, via FanDuel at 4 in the morning. Now, Colorado, they got to pressure Noah Fafita, got to put pressure on the young guy, the sophomore quarterback. Got to put pressure on him. Got to take advantage of poor defense. Arizona's defense is lackluster, very lackluster, very poor in my opinion. with that explosive offense that Colorado has, they got to put up points. They got to put up a lot of points taking advantage of that defense. They got to protect Shador, man. Please protect your quarterback. Get the ball to LaJohntay Weston and Will Shepard, your two guys that make plays. Now, Trav is supposed to be back, but who knows how much he's going to see on both sides of the ball. So that's why I prioritize LaJohntay and Will Shepard. And you got to know where T-Mac is at all times because, if a fighter knows where he's at, he's going to look for him often or early. So you got to know what T-Mac is. I would say put Travis on T-Mac and let's see how that go. That's just me. Now, if you're Arizona, don't test Travis. I've seen people test Travis. Travis come down with picks, breakups. Don't test Travis, man. If you got him, take the shot, but don't, my man look like he might beat him. Let me know because it's probably baited. Get the ball to T-Mac, obviously. But with that being said, someone, again, has to step up, man. Montana Luminous Craig has to step up, in my opinion. That's the someone, in my opinion, has to step up. Pressure Shador, as we see Shador be running for his life. And you got to feed Quali Conley because this defense against the run is not that good. We saw DJ Giddens go off. Now, DJ Giddens, to me, is one of the better backs, one of the best backs in the country. So, of course, he did. But I think Quali Conley can go off as well. But I'm picking Colorado to win. Like I said, Arizona defense is not good. It's got scored on crazy by New Mexico. Scored on crazy by K-State. Utah didn't really take advantage of it, but Utah didn't have Cam Rising, even though you could say whatever. Cam Rising is another story. But teams that Arizona plays typically puts up points, and Colorado normally puts up points. So it's just a match made for disaster for Arizona. So give me Colorado as dogs as an upset. They would have been my dog of the week, but I chose Arkansas. As you can see, check out the short. Next, we got, speaking of Arkansas, 8 LSU traveling to Fayetteville at Arkansas, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Now, LSU is coming on the road into Fayetteville as 2.5-point favorites. Teams, however, have struggled in Fayetteville. And I talked about that. They've struggled in Fayetteville. For LSU, though, you got to get Kyron Lacey the ball. He called a game against Ole Miss. He's their best receiver, in my opinion. You got to give him the ball. Don't know if CJ Daniels is back yet. I haven't seen anything. I'm assuming he's out, but he may be back. Established Caden Durham, the freshman back, that I felt like they found something there with him. Contain Taylor Green's legs. Taylor Green is a go. From what I saw at 4 this morning, he was good to go. So, got to contain his legs. Contain DeQuinton Jackson, the running back, who's been having a phenomenal year for Arkansas. And you got to have no Nussmeier interceptions. He had a couple turnovers last week, but no picks from Nussmeier. Now, if you're Arkansas, you got to run Taylor Green. He's such an exceptional athlete. You got to put that pressure on that LSU defense. You got to get the ball to Andrew Armstrong. I'm going to keep saying it, their best receiver. You got to run JaQuinton Jackson. Got to force some turnovers, man. Force some turnovers, get some short fields for your Arkansas offense. And you got to hit splash plays, which Arkansas loves to do. They love to hit them 20-plus momentum plays. And with that being said, I said it. They're my dog of the week. I'm picking Arkansas to win. Teams have struggled at Fayetteville. Tennessee struggled. Why am I blanking? Who else coming up for Fayetteville? But they've struggled, man. Teams have struggled. Arkansas, they're really good offense. Like I said, man, they could be 6-0, man. They blew the game against Oklahoma State. I just felt like they were just finding ways to lose that game. And the Texas A&M game, you want to say Texas A&M beat them, cool, but Arkansas had 3 turnovers. That was a 4-point game. It was just frustrating for Sam Pittman. But Arkansas could easily be 6-0, looking to be 7-0 with this win, and we'll have a different storyline in the media in terms of this game. Give me Arkansas to win a battle of the boot. Offense has been exceptional this year, so I'm taking Arkansas to win this game. Next, and finally, we have MSU, Iowa. So Iowa's on the road, coming into MSU at 6.5-point favorites. You can catch this game 7:30 on NBC. I forgot to write it down, but yeah, you can catch this game 7:30 on NBC. For Iowa, gotta force Aiden Childs silly turnovers. They forced like 3-4 turnovers on Will Rogers last week. Exceptional job with that there. Gotta force them turnovers against MSU with Aiden Childs at quarterback. You gotta run Caleb Johnson, who had a stupendous game against Washington. He's been having a stupendous year at running back. He's probably one of the running backs that's been doing really, really well. I don't see people talking about as much, but Caleb Johnson's having a stupendous year. K. McNamara has to establish the pass just to get players out the box. You still got to give that threat there. Oh, we'll run play action and we'll burn you over the top. Stop K'Ron Lynch-Adams big plays. He's been a big play guy for us this year. And you got to force third down and longs against MSU, so you can send them two edge rushers at Aiden Child. They provided a lot of problems with that Washington O-line last week, and Will Rogers. They're looking to wreak havoc this week on the offense as well. Now, if you're Michigan State, can't give Iowa momentum with silly turnovers. No silly turnovers. They're normally an opportunistic defense. No silly turnovers. Got to force third and longs on. They got to get off the field on third down. Excuse me. Get off the field on third downs. Because that was killer against Washington too. Iowa was converting third downs, keeping drives alive and scoring touchdowns. So, got to get off the field. Got to somehow, some way contain Caleb Johnson. It's going to be tough to do, but you got to find a way to do so. Get the ball to Nick Marsh and Montoya Foster on the outside, and you got to protect Aiden Childs, so he doesn't feel pressured or doesn't start pressing, and then those picks happen. My winner. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to pick Michigan State to win this game. Now, I do think Caleb Johnson has a Caleb Johnson game. I don't think we'll contain him, stop him, whatever you want to call it. I think he has about $150, maybe 2 touchdowns. But I think Aiden Childs, coming off of a bye week, doesn't throw the crazy interceptions. If he does, maybe one. I give him the limit of 1. But I think the offense will be able to move down the field. Our issue isn't moving down the field. Our issue is turnovers and execution in the red zone. That's our issue for real. I think we'll be able to move down the field. I think we might be able to score a couple touchdowns, force Iowa's hand to score touchdowns. I think we might want to get our revenge of last year. But I think Michigan State could win this ball game. I think they will win this ball game. And that's all I have for y'all today. I will be back. I don't know when. Probably Sunday morning just to do the weekday reviews. I'll do the weekend reviews separately because I want to do the weekend reviews with Poll Talk. And the polls normally don't drop till like 12, 1 o'clock. And that's when NFL is playing. So I'm going to be watching NFL football. But that's all I got for y'all this morning. Y'all be safe. Enjoy these college football games. And I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.